手万战的直播现场，在这边也特别的向我们全国保时捷体验中心的观看此次赛事直播的朋友们问个好，欢迎大家共同见证本次赛季最后一回合的对决。Hello everyone and welcome back to Shanghai International Circuit as finally this is the final race of the season, ladies and gentlemen. And here's also a special hello to all of the fans in China, for all of the Porsche centers around the country watching this live stream right now. We are going to find out the champion for the M class and also the first runner-up and second runner-up for the overall class and Pro-Am class. Let's hear from our pit reporter, Steve Dawson, on how it's going.
All right, Sammy, so last race of the season, here's what's at stake. First of all, among the pros, I've got it all on my phone here. Dylan Pereira is in second place, and that's what they're fighting over. Alessandro Guaretti's already won the championship. He's got 248 points. Only 5 points behind is Matisse Jobert. So Pereira is in P1, Jobert is in P2. Jobert has to overtake in order to stand any chance of picking off second place for himself. Now, among the amateurs, there's even more at stake because we're looking for top spot. That is yet to be claimed. Eric Kwong currently holds first place, 325 points. Mongkong Satyantirical is 18 points behind. So where are these guys on the grid? Well, Eric is in P13. Interestingly, his brother, Henry, is in P14. And he can do a decent bit of defending on behalf of his brother because Satyantirical is in P15. Because of the gap, realistically, Satyantirical not only needs to finish ahead of Eric, but he probably needs Eric to generate some sort of mishap for himself. So we've got to keep an eye on that in the middle of the pack to see what happens. Could be very, very exciting. Among the Pro-Ams, that's all cut and dried. Bao Jinlong's already won the championship. He's in P1. He's won a bunch of races this season. He's in good shape to do it all over again here in the last race of the campaign.
I think it's going to be really exciting to watch the M class, so check out the actions at the back, guys. So thank you, Steve, for today. Let's enjoy the race together by passing it back to our commentators.
Thank you, Sammy and Steve, on the much drier pit lane than we have had for any other point in the weekend. And I reckon this is Michelin slick tyres now. And everybody's got a new set for this slightly longer race. It's just over 40 minutes timed, plus one lap. Quite a number of them going, and I think this is smart. They are going through the pit lane and getting extra laps just to see what the conditions are like. And that's very smart indeed. Earlier on this morning, the conditions were less than hospitable for Alessandro Guaretti to try and claim the overall championship. A couple of laps behind the safety car before we got underway with the green flag, and everybody got through the first corner. He did have problems down at turn 9 with a couple of cars, Li Chao and Yuki Ka coming into contact. That brought the safety car out. 23 of Eric Kwong going long, and this would have championship implications as he dropped back down in the AM class. Right, pink C-speed number 22 of Hubo coming through. He eventually take his first victory, but at the front of the field it was all about the battle for the championship. Alessandro Guaretti leading out from Pereira, Martin Ragginger and the car of Rodrigo Diaz Almeida going side by side, splashing through the puddles. And then the two Kwongs got together, and that dumped Eric all the way down the field. The dash for the line saw Guaretti take it by just under half a second, and that was enough to give him an unassailable points total as we head into the final round. So Team Jebsen and Alessandro Guaretti taking the respective teams and drivers championship in the overall. Yet to be decided the Endurance Challenge Championship where Chiretti leads that one as well, but only by 4 points from Maurice Chaubert. Dylan Pereira is only 9 points away from the lead. It's a bit chillier than earlier, but much drier. It's about 14 Celsius, 24 when we were racing earlier on. But interestingly, the track temperature measured by our colleagues at Michelin is only down a degree also from what we had earlier on. Now, this is a new track surface which has seen some racing on it before this weekend. We had an 8-hour race which included these cars. Eric Kwong among the drivers that were here, so they have had some experience of this. And my colleague Nick, the Chinese commentator, Nick Chang, he was telling me earlier this weekend that lap times, you will see for that, lap times were 1.5 seconds to 3 seconds quicker. Let's get to the front of the grid.
Thank you, commentators. Now joining me on the track, we have the Managing Director of Porsche Motorsports Asia Pacific, Mr. Alexandre Gibault. Hello, Alex.
Hello, welcome everyone. Welcome for the last race of the season of Carrera Cup Asia 2024.
Yes, nice to see you again, Alex. So now we are at the final race and we have clear weather and dry track. What are your predictions for the finale?
Well, I think if you look back at the whole season, I think it has been an amazing season. Carrera Cup Asia is going stronger and stronger. We can see the level of driver in all classes is really going up, and I believe for 2025 it will be even stronger. We had a very good number of cars also this weekend. We have 29 cars. We had 27 cars in average this season, so a very successful season. So I would like to thank all the drivers, the teams, the partners, the dealers, the importers, the sponsors who are supporting us to make Carrera Cup Asia such a success.
I agree with you. I see that we have a fantastic 2024 season for Porsche Carrera Cup Asia. What about the other one-make series? Like, how are they doing?
Well, we have been very active, like this weekend, for example, here in China, in Shanghai International Circuit. It's the biggest Porsche Motorsport event in China this year. On the paddock side, you have an amazing vibes, you know, with the heritage and motorsports, and we have also the Sports Cup China this weekend. So we have more than 90 cars participating on track in competition with their road car on top of the Carrera Cup Asia. Yesterday we had an amazing parade with 230 Porsche at the same time on the Formula One track. So it was quite something. So that's for China. And for Southeast Asia side, we have been very active with the season 2 of the Porsche Sprint Trophy Indonesia. We still have 2 races to go. I will be there next weekend in Mandalika, and we will be there also next year with the Carrera Cup Asia, and also Sprint Trophy Thailand. We still have 1 race to go in December. So very, very busy season on the one-make series side, but I have to say very successful, and also successful because we have a very strong one-make series team behind, at Porsche Motorsport Asia Pacific. So also thanks to my team for the great jobs they have delivered over the year.
You're definitely living the dream life of all of motorsports enthusiasts out there. So other than the one-make series, I know Porsche Motorsports Asia Pacific also had something else going on as well, is it?
Yeah, definitely on the GT Sport side, it was also a great season. We started in Bathurst with the win for Porsche. Great start also for one of our Asian customer, Phantom Global Racing, in Bathurst 12 hours, also in Spa 24. And then GT World Challenge Asia has been extremely successful. 911 GT3R. It's quite impressive, and in terms of result, it has been great. We finished P1, P2, P3 in the championship, team championship, silver arm champion. So it has been a great year, and the great thing also to see is the winner of the GT World Challenge Asia is coming from Carrera Cup. Leo Ye and Bob Yuan, they are all coming from Carrera Cup. Leo was our champion 2 years ago. Bob has been a Pro-Am champion many years ago, and RMB was also team champion in Carrera Cup. So Carrera Cup Asia is definitely a great springboard, to GT Sport, but we still have some big event to come, because in 1 month's time, we will be in Macau for the FIA GT World Cup. There's a stellar lineup in Macau this year, and we will enter 5 cars to try to win the FIA GT World Cup. And early December, we will also have the start of the Asian Le Mans Series. So Porsche Motorsport Asia Pacific, it's 35 races per year, starting in January, stopping in December, and it's definitely non-stop for the passion for motorsport that we share with our customer and with our fans.
Wow, that's really, really a lot of things happening. So I think thank you so much, Alex, for sharing with us so much information. I'm sure a lot of us are looking forward to see the race today and what's in the future for Porsche Motorsport Asia Pacific.
Enjoy the last race of the season. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Alex. And with that, let's pass it back to our commentators.
And a reminder, of course, that the winners of the Endurance Cup will be heading to the Maguire's 12 Hours of Bathurst to the first weekend of February, Mount Panorama, as VIP guests of Porsche Motorsport Asia Pacific, each of the class winners. And the winner of the overall, which is, we know, is Alessandro Giretti, for the whole season, will get a guest entry, and he will be taking part in the Carrera Cup Australia round at the Australian Grand Prix.
Mathis Jobert is in P2 and looking to secure second place in the overall championship. Mathis, how important would it be for you to take second in the season overall?
Oh, it's very important, you know, it's important for me, but also for the team and the dealer trophy. So I think I need to finish in front of Dylan, and let's see what we can do during this race.
You've got to focus on the driver who's in P1, but there's a couple of good drivers behind you. Are you going to be looking in your rear-view mirror as well?
You know, in this championship, every driver are very fast. I think in these 2 first row, we have a very fast driver. Let's see what we can do. I'm focused on Dylan. We start on pole, and let's see, it's a very long race, 45 minutes. Also the first race with slick tires, so we already don't know the pace of the other driver. So it's an interesting race, let's see.
It's been a fantastic season. Have a great last round.
Thank you.
Mathis Jobert just 5 points behind Dylan Pereira in the overall championship, and just 4 points behind Alessandro Giretti in the endurance challenge points. The dealer trophy, well, Team Jebsen have done a cracking job this year, so as you can imagine, they are well ahead of the game there. As we thankfully have some far drier conditions at the end of what's been a very busy weekend, as you heard Alexandre Gibaud mentioning, seeing those almost 250 Porsche road cars 4 wide across the start-finish straight. That was some organisation to get them all here and then get them lined up for the photograph. Looked absolutely stunning. All shapes, colours and sizes. There are some parts of the world and some manufacturers who don't like giving their customers the opportunity to choose different colours of cars, but we had just about everything. Right, let's go down and find out what Muntong Sathin Therakul thinks about life today.
Sathin Therakul still fighting for top spot in the season in the amateur class, and I've got his son here with me. Let's have a word though with Monkong. First of all, you got a lot to do. How confident are you, and what's the strategy?
Actually, I don't have much strategy. Just go as fast as I could. just only that, yeah.
Do you think you need some good fortune elsewhere on the track, or is it all just focused on you here?
Yeah, actually, I need everything now. Everything, every possible thing.
And when the race is over, you're looking forward to hugging these guys?
Yeah, for sure. Let's see after the race, yeah.
Okay, drive well. Good luck.
Thank you.
Well, he's got to win the race and get the 25 points for the win, probably the fastest lap as well, to keep it alive. Eric Kwong's on 3:25, and Munkong is 18 points behind. Did take the point for fastest lap in the first race, of this weekend. That was Henry Kwong, actually, I think, that took it in the race this morning. So the opportunity is there, but there has to be a problem for Eric Kwong at the front of the race in the brightly coloured number 23 car. It is in his hands at the moment, but then again he ended up running into his brother Henry Kwong earlier on. Here's how they line up then for this final race of the season, which will decide some of the minor positions in the overall championship, but also still the Endurance Cup, of course. It's Dylan Pereira and Mathieu Chabert on pole position. Brock Gilchrist in this weekend for Porsche Team New Zealand in the Earl Bamber Motorsport run car. He's got newly crowned champion Alessandro Giretti alongside him. Nazim Asman, with his best starting spot of the season, is in 5th, with Rodrigo Diaz Almeida in 6th. Martin Ragginger in 7th in the black and gold number 86, with Dylan Yip in the yellow number 6 alongside him. Bajun Long is the best of the Pro-Am cars. Eric Tsang in the 77 alongside him. Liu Wei in the 33, and Francis Chia on row number 6. On row 7, Eric Kwong and Henry Kwong in the AM category. Munkong Sathin Therakul right behind his championship rival, and he's got Hendrik Jaya Sawati in alongside him. Rao Yang and Hubo on the 9th row. The 321 is Li Xingyu in 19th position, and Jack Wu in 20th. Christian Chia in 21st, and it's Cha Chi-Quen in 22nd. John Shen and Li Chao on the 12th row. Han Song Ting and Adrian Silva on row 30. Liu Li Ka 27th. The 888 car had problems yesterday, of course, and that this weekend is Yang Chuang. Subbing in for the normal driver, Young Yatzi, who's on duty at the FIA Games over in Europe, and with a grid penalty for the accident as well. I should have mentioned earlier on was Li Chao in that number 9 car, and right at the back the 777 is Luc Gervais in the R&B racing car. So we have, I reckon, a full 29, which equals our best ever. And what will they be taking on? The track that was opened in 2004, it's 3.3 miles around, 5.4 kilometres, 16 corners, a couple of overtaking spots down at turn 5, although you've got to get your braking right there, you're going slightly downhill. There's an opportunity into 9 as well. And then, of course, at the end of that 3/4 of a mile, 1,250 metre long back straight, and getting onto that back straight through the parabolica, the long right-hander at turn 13, really important. It's got a bit of banking on there. You can get on the power and unleash the 507 PS of the flat 6 4-litre fairly easily. The whole track has been resurfaced since we last raced here, and that means that the lap record that has stood for a very long time to Philip Hamprecht, going back to 2019, that was the previous version of the GT3 Carrera Cup car. That was the 991.2. We're now on to 992, and in fact just released the road-going version of the 992.2, which has some hybrid assistance for the first time in a Porsche 911 for the versions that have been brought out so far, including the GTS. So there will be an upgrade, I'm sure, to change the front end of these cars, because it is slightly different look. The daytime running lights and the indicators have moved. Daytime running lights being that 4 light signature in the headlamp units themselves for a little while, but the bright white and indicator lenses, the trafficator lenses, have been moved into that as well. The most significant part of the redesign on the front end. There's a new spoiler design on the GT3 version of the 992.2. and a new interior package as well for the street car, which is all digital. We no longer have the analogue rev counter right in the middle. We will see when that particular version of the car is introduced to Carrera Cup racing. The good news is that the engine for the GT3 hasn't changed at all. It's still that beautifully sonorous flat six that we are so well used to. No turbos on it in that car, and we know now, I think it was last Friday, wasn't it, that it was globally announced. We know now that the GT3 version of the 992.2 will retain the current motive power package, which doesn't have the hybrid on it. That's reserved for GTS and down over. So this race actually will end up being very similar to what we've seen so far, as a bit of outbreaking going on there. I think that was Eric Zhang right in front of Munkong Sathin Thirakul. He's got his Michelin tyres a little bit dirty. I can't imagine anybody's done anything else other than put the Michelin slicks on. The two people still warming up their brakes. Normally it is a clutch start from a grid sport, but the two races that we've had so far, yesterday and first thing this morning, had to be started behind the Porsche 911 safety car because of the difficult weather conditions and in particular the visibility. However, the longer race is a side-by-side rolling start, which is why they're getting into position now, halfway down that 1250 metre long back straight, which you can see so well from the press room windows. Great to be able to follow the cars around. Wherever you are in the world, thank you for either getting up early. Clocks have changed in Europe, of course, so back onto GMT in the UK, end of summertime. Had a little bit of a lie-in this morning, an extra hour's worth of sleep if you're in those areas where the clocks have gone back. Daylight savings in some parts of Australia where the clocks have gone the opposite direction. 43 minutes plus the lap. So pretty much 3/4 of an hour of racing to end the 2024 Porsche Carrera Cup Asia season. 29 cars on the grid. Coming to the red lights now. The lights are out. And already a break for Bao Xinlong in the dark blue car. He goes to the left, then to the right. It's slightly more slippery next to the pit wall. We had 5 across the track for a moment there. My goodness me. Everybody gets through the first part of turn 1, then the tighter part of turn 2. Still going downhill, and there's a collision between the leading pair, and they are off. And there's a spin in the middle of the track. This is going to cause all kinds of problems. Pereira has driven away, but it's the 99 of Mathieu Gilbert in the Toro car, and someone else was involved there as well. I think that might have been the 117 of Zhao Chiquen, and Martin Ragginger off as well in the yellow and black car, but he's back on the circuit. Alessandro Giretti leads out. Pereira battling for second in the overall championship. Just going by Rodrigo Diaz Almeida as he recovers. The number 91 Triple Ace racing car, Henry Kwong, right in the midst of it as well. Easy to see that bright yellow car, and I'm afraid that Jackie Wu, after a really good qualifying, he was inside the top 20. His car's come to a halt. I think that one then must have been the car that was involved. And there's another spin on the far side of the circuit. Is that Diaz Almeida? I think it is. Rodrigo's gone around and he's on the wet grass. He's got no grip there, and somebody else was just spinning in the pack. That is the number 76. It's much more difficult out there. Munkong Sathin Thirakul, that could be his championship chances in the AM category, gone. So hard to get temperature into the Michelin tyres, and it's greasy and damp in places. Giretti leads. Coming through in second, I think that's Nazim Asman who's challenging Brock Gilchrist, and he's gone round the outside at the final corner. What an overtaking manoeuvre that was for Nazim Asman through into second. Munkong is pointing in the right direction, but he's got a lot of real estate to make up, a lot of ground being dropped there. Now, did Eric Tsang get through the incidents early on as well? Yes, he did. He's dropped a position to Yang Huayu. Oh, and there's more incidents, and this time it's Francis Chia in the number 21 car that was sideways. There was another car involved there as well. And we've got cars at the side of the track, but they are far enough off not to be an issue. So Jackie Wu's got his car off the end of the track. Munkong Satin Thirakul hasn't come across the line yet. He's so far back. There he goes, underneath the bridges on the front straight. And look at this, 2:07.804, within a tenth of the lap record from 2019, and that was on the first flying lap by Alessandro Giretti. The lap record is going today, there's no doubt in my mind about that. Right, let's see if we can sort out some of the issues. Dark blue number 7, Bao Jinlong weaving left and right. I think that was a factor. It all happened coming down the hill, and Pereira got together. Pereira comes back on. Joubert spins, and then there was a further spin at the bottom. There was a touch. So that was Jackie Wu being dinged on the left rear corner by the recovering Joubert. Then we had the spin for Muntong Satin Thirakul, and also spinning Eric Tsang. Now, I hadn't seen that, so he lost some positions as well. And of course we know that the leaders had pulled away there. So Brock Gilchrist in second place. Now the battle for third, and there's the new lap record by some margin. 2:04.9 against a 2:07.7. That's a huge improvement with that track surface, and the Michelin tyres coming up to temperature and pressure now. So Brock Gilchrist in the 84 car, the white, black and red machine of Porsche Team New Zealand, run by a very proud Kiwi, Earl Bamber Motorsport, EBM, with a couple of cars under their own name in this championship as well. A long-time Porsche driver competing in IMSA racing next year for another manufacturer in the GTP, in the top class. Down the inside for Dylan Pereira. He takes Nazim Asman in the SEMA Derby red and white number 17, so that's back to third now for Dylan Pereira. He's got to get up the road and try and get somewhere near Giretti. He is 9 points behind Giretti in the Asian Endurance Challenge Championship part of the Porsche Carrera Cup Asia. Oh, looks like Brock Gilchrist has just been closed down on, going down the back straight. Lovely to see that the windscreen wipers aren't required in this final race of the season. Just under 37 minutes still to go. So this is going to be a very different challenge for all of the drivers as they burn their racing fuel off. The car's balance will change. Fuel tank in the front of the Porsche 911 Carrera Cup car, of course. And there will be an element of managing the tyre life and maximising the performance over the 45 or so minutes that we expect this race to go on. Giretti 2:04.8 last time around, 2:04.871. Every time he goes faster, that'll be a new lap record. He's got 4.5 seconds on the field at the moment. Brock Gilchrist, making his debut this weekend, is under pressure. And Dylan Pereira, the Luxembourg driver, pulls out on the downhill braking area, turn 5, and now squares off the corner. The pink and white PWT car. Oh, and on the final corner, spin for John Shen. John with a bit of damage. I think he's been helped there. Might even have had a puncture. And who else was involved? It was the 777 of Lou Gervais, the R&B racing car. And I think there's damage to the back of John's car. The battle for second goes on. Pereira down the inside. That's a nice manoeuvre through into turn 11 and 12. Now onto the back straight. See, builds up pace, flat out for just about 3/4 of a mile. And now the gap was 4.4 seconds between that battle for second and the leader, the Team Jebsen blue and white number 55, Frenchman Alessandro Giletti. Goes across the line, staying away from the damper patches. Just a little bit of a damp patch under the bridge, actually, that I noticed earlier on, but it is drying out pretty quickly. Down at the hairpin, multicoloured car is the number 23 of Eric Kwong. It's his brother in the 91 that leads that category in 11th place overall. And of course, Hong Kong Satin Thirikul way back down in 26th position. Needs a safety car, I think, to make anything there. He's made up a position or so last time around, but we are talking about, well, let's see if we can see the gap. As John Shen, yeah, I was right, there is damage to that car. This is the number 16 that we're talking about, the Modena Motorsport machine, John in the AM class, and it was indeed the right rear of that car that had damage, and it's damaged the wheel and the Michelin tyre as well. Track limits at the exit of turn 13, and a first warning for Rodrigo Diaz Almeida. So needs to be just a little bit careful in the late afternoon here. And it will be not dark by the time we finish, but certainly the light will be fading. A little bit of tyre and bodywork debris on the entrance to the final corner, turn 16, the left-hander onto the straight. That was from that incident between Lou Gervais and John Shen. Winner of the AM class earlier on today, the pink number 22, Hubo, challenging. Ooh, now this is danger time for the championship leader, Eric Kwong. Doesn't need to be doing this with his major championship rival way back down the standings. Somebody needs to be on the radio. They're side by side, right up the pit straight. Eric in the multicoloured car on driver's right does give up that position. And that is second then for the number 22. And in behind them is Hendrik Jaya Sawati. Sawati, the pole sitter yesterday in the AM category. Also Rodrigo Diaz Almeida coming through in the mostly white with black accoutrement, the number 18 car, after that problem earlier on. He's fighting his way through some of the AM and Pro AM drivers. Eric Tsang. And the number 77 well down the field as well. And he is actually down in a 19th position, which he won't be liking that at all. He's got, let me see, he only had 8 points between himself and the number 321, Li Chengyu, in that second place battle in the Pro-Am category. Bajin Long has been uncatchable for some time there. Confirmed the championship at the F1 race at Singapore. Some more details about next year's championship towards the end of the show. It's pretty exciting. Right, we are now down to a quote-unquote normal race distance, half an hour, as the hairpin at the end of the long back straight has claimed another victim. And that was the battling the Changyu in the salmon pink fronted car with Henry Kwong just up the road. So is that Liu Wei's just gone by? I think it is, in the 33, and that was a position, second position indeed, in the AM category. 5.3 seconds at the front of the field. Giretti leads from Brock Gilchrist in second. Excuse me, from Dylan Pereira in second. Hang on a second. Yeah, that is Dylan Pereira going through just for a moment there. So Dylan, having got past Brock, hasn't been able to streak off down the road. Our leader braking now for the hairpin at the end of the back straight, and it's still all of that 5 seconds before the BWT Team Shanghai Honda car comes through. Gilchrist holding on to third position, already had one podium this weekend, the young driver from Auckland, New Zealand. Martin Ragginger ahead of Nazim Asman now into fourth position. Nazim getting busy with the light flashing control in the Seamid Derby. Another new fastest lap, 2:04.816 now, shaving a few hundredths away from his previous best for Alessandro Giletti. In 11th position, the AM leader, Henry Kwong, with a primer grey rear bumper that was damaged by the number 23 of Eric Kwong. And they ran into each other at the end of this morning's race, and that really did open the door a little bit for Munkong Sathin Thirakul, but unfortunately the Thai driver hasn't had it his own way here. He is well down the field, hasn't even crossed the line yet. I'll keep an eye open for him as he comes across the line. And he's something like 40 seconds behind the leader in his class, and he needs to be right there. So we've had 6 laps, we're on our 7th, and there are still just on 26.5 minutes to go, plus a lap in this, the second round of the Porsche Carrera Cup Asia Endurance Challenge. The other race weekend that was designated the Endurance was back in August at Sepang, Malaysia. Mathis Jobert really had the best of that in terms of consistency, with a win at 2 seconds and 2 fastest laps. But Alessandro Chiretti has pulled back this weekend with a win and a second, a pole and 2 fastest laps so far. That gives him 97 points to his countryman's 93, with Dylan Pereira with a first, a second and a pole position this weekend as well. And a spin. That's the second time this weekend Li Chao has been facing the wrong direction. That was down at the hairpin of turn 14. Team Better Life car, though, immediately able to get point. Oh, now very, very close in behind was Eric Sang. Eric Sang there. Was there a little touch on the back? I can't see any witness marks there, certainly not on the back of Li Chao's Pro-Am Team Better Life machine. Stewards will be looking at that. Lu Wei in 9th position, closing the gap just a little bit to Li Xuanyu. It's the 33 versus the 3-2-1, so I'll keep an eye on that. But at the front of the field, Dylan Pereira is not closing down Alessandro Chiretti. Is it going to be 2 second place finishes in the championship for Dylan Pereira? At the moment, he is 7 points behind Mathis Jaubert in the Endurance Championship points, who's slightly ahead of him in the overall championship. I think with Jaubert down the field, well, that will definitely change over in the championship overall. I think Jaubert is still running around. He's down in 27th position, and he's turning in some decent lap times. Did a 2:06.1 last time around, but he's going to come through the field, but he's half a lap down on the front of the field, and so his championship second place aspirations in both of the versions of the championship, I'm afraid, are slipping away. Still got some good fighting out on the circuit. Brock Gilchrist, Martin Ragginger, Nazim Azman all still battling for the last step on the podium for this year, and still just on 23 minutes to go, side-by-side action with the 888 of Yang Chuang and Francis Chair behind him in the 21. Yes, it is the red, white and black car. We send our best wishes to Young Yatzi over in Europe for the FIA Motorsport Games, which is going on at the moment. Alexander Gibault, man at the head of Porsche Motorsport Asia, just saying how many drivers have gone on. Oh, that's a decent battle there, and Nazim Azman for a moment got in front of Martin Ragginger, but couldn't get the car stopped. Just locked up the front Michelins down at turn 14 rather, before he had to open his hands out. So Ragginger goes back into 4th position. Lost it for about, what, 15-20 metres, if that. Just a little puff of Michelin tyre smoke from the Seymour Derby red and white car. Alexandre Gibault mentioning the drivers from this championship who've gone on to do other things or have been competing elsewhere in the world. Martin Ragginger, of course, we know. Dylan Pereira, we've seen him in a few places as well. And I suspect that Brock Gilchrist, Porsche young driver from New Zealand. I think that's a name we're going to see. Spoken to some of my colleagues in the Antipodes, and he's been very, very impressive. Also good to see a whole raft of Porsche Carrera Cup Asia drivers at the Michelin 992 Endurance Cup at Spa, the 12-hour race at Spa a couple of months ago. Brilliant event, a whole week of Porsche celebrations, and I suspect we'll see that again next year. And we had, I think, 30 cars. I expect more than that next year. Certainly know a couple of teams from the UK, at least, who are going to put a couple of cars in. It'd be good to see some of the drivers from this championship come back across. They had an absolute whale of a time. Just a slightly different mentality, much as we have here with the slightly longer race, just meaning you have to be slightly more circumspect, particularly early on in the rough and tumble first few laps. Still a great battle going on for position number 14, Enric Jaya. So Wati in the red and white car chasing down that multicoloured cartoon Eric Kwong, number 23. And that is for third place now in the AM category. Bajin Long, by the way, leading Pro-Am. Henry Kwong leading AM with Hugh Bohr, yesterday's winner, now 7 seconds behind. And in fact, Bajin Long's got about the same gap back to Li Xuanyu in that battle for Pro-Am. 7th and 8th, 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th, all Pro-Am drivers at the moment. I wonder if there's enough time for Rodrigo Diaz Almeida to come through and get back into the top 10. He's charging up to the back of that top 4 battle in Pro-Am at the moment. Battle for AM position. Eric Kwong has always had stunning livery on his car. Triple 8 bright yellow car right in the middle of a battle at the moment. That's Yang Zhuang, Christian Chia and Francis Chia ahead of him, and Francis has just got ahead of Christian last time around. I think behind was the 117 of Chao Chi-Quen. Just at the back of that little 4-car battle pack. Still the closest battle for meaningful position on the track, however, is that third place scrap in the AM category. Hubo's just up the road a little bit from this, at about 3.5 seconds. Can't close in on Henry Kwong in the yellow number 91. And flash of that, you'll see them up the road. Pink for Hubo, yellow for Eric Kwong. And it's been a fairly lonely run for the classic dark blue, white and gold colours of Bajin Long. What a season the Phantom Global Racing driver has had. Only a couple of times that he's been off the top step of the podium through the whole season. And he is cruising to another class victory here. Stood on top of the podium earlier this morning. What a way to celebrate his 2024 championship. It's never really been in doubt from about halfway through the season. He could have gone on holiday, missed a couple of rounds, and he would have still had a more than even chance of the championship going in here. Very, very impressed by Bajin Long. And indeed the team around him paid fulsome tribute to Phantom Global Racing for his Pro-Am championship victory. Didn't get to speak to him at Singapore because of the time constraints of the Formula 1 weekend, but it was lovely to hear him talking to Steve Dawson earlier on today. Brock Gilchrist all of a sudden has dropped away. What's happened to Pereira? Pereira's dropped down. Dylan Pereira's had a problem. Oh, and there was a little bump there as well. But Dylan Pereira has dropped away from the front of the field. Pereira down into 8th position and therefore Brock out. Okay, something's very, very weird going on with the timing at the moment. 777. That is Lou Gervais into the back of Li Shuangyi. Now, I'm not sure if Dylan Pereira has a problem with his transponder. We'll have to try and have a look to see what the case is. Pereira, the number 5 in the pink car, dropped all the way down to 7th or 8th position, a mistake by the number 77 at the end of the back straight, Eric Chang, for Toro Racing in the Pro-Am category. Dylan Pereira is still in second. Yeah, he dropped all the way down. It's 6.5 seconds now. Oof, big lock-up for Eric Chang in the Toro Racing car. Oh, and I think, oh dear, did he spin Eric Kwong? He did. He spun Eric Kwong, the championship leader. Oh, Munkong Sathin Thirakul must be absolutely cursing his luck. That was the break he needed, but he's not there to be able to take advantage of it after his own mistake earlier on. So, where has the number 23 dropped down to? So Dylan Pereira fans and Shanghai Hyundai BWT team fans, I apologise. I think the timing has sorted itself out now. I was looking to see them across the line. Meantime, Muntong Satin Thirakul makes his way through the pack, and that's another position taken. That's Christian Chia. So he's now up to 5th in class, and Eric Kwong is 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th. It's not enough, but there's still 13 minutes to go, so there's plenty of time for more drama at the front of that Am field. Now, I seen Asman a moment or two ago down the inside at turn 13, at turn 14. He rehearsed that a couple of laps ago, didn't he, but couldn't quite get it done. Martin Ragginger then goes back to 5th place. Asman in the Seaman Derby car up to P4. Rodrigo Diaz Almeida has made it back into the top 10, by the way, made up a couple of positions since I mentioned him last time, and he's in amongst the Pro-Am battling now. Next target will be Li Shuangyi in the Z-Speed Motorsport 321 car. That will be for 8th position, and then the dark blue number 7 Bao Jinlong. And at the moment he's lapping a good couple of seconds quicker than Lee ahead, but Bao about a second faster than Bao, so might still have enough time with a dozen minutes or so still to go. Giretti still leading by now, only 6 seconds though. 2:05.4 last time around. Now, I do not want to build unnecessary drama as Dylan Pereira still in second place, with apologies if I scared everybody when he dropped down the timing and scoring monitor. That is fine now. As I say, I hate building up unnecessary drama. However, Pereira is catching the leader, and Pereira's just put the fastest lap of the race in at 2:04.8. The previous lap he took just over half a second. He's taken another 3/10 there, and it's down to 5.7 seconds. It was 7 seconds not too long ago. with 11 minutes to go. So what are we looking at there? That's probably 5 or 6 laps. He's got to take more than that. But the question will be, who has looked after their Michelin tyres the best? Chiretti, in his first season in this championship, bringing Team Jebsen right back to the front. Championship winners a few years ago. Those really iconic colourway on that car, the livery with the half blue and white with the crest on the bonnet, the front of the car. Bajin Long in 7th position, holds the lead and the championship in Pro-Am for Phantom Global. He's had a pretty lonely race actually, just watching his lap times, able to use the curbs a lot more now that it's dry here for the first time this weekend at Shanghai International Circuit. What a venue to start and end the season. And in the AM category, down in 11th position, it's Triple Ace Racing's Henry Kwong in the yellow and black number 91 with the new rear bumper, still in primer. Didn't have time to wrap it this morning, after this morning's race, should I say. Put the important stickers on. So the AM category, the Michelin and Mobil 1 partnership logos on there, without whom we can't do the championship. And as Alex Sheebo said earlier on today, big thanks to them. And of course all of our teams and their supporters as well, whether it be moral support or financial. What a season it's been, growing year on year. And after the trials and tribulations of 2020 and 2021, when Porsche Carrera Cup Asia did a cracking job to keep racing, it's really paid off, hasn't it, in the last couple of seasons. 2023 was great, 2024 even better. Now I think that was Sathin Thirakul making way through. No, it wasn't, excuse me, another blue car, that's Adrian De Silva in the number 61 car, going past Zhao Chiquen in the 117. A little bit of side-by-side action there as well, and this again is not what Eric Kwong needs. He's caught up to that little battle. Nan Chuang in there in the 888 as well. At the front of the field, by the way, Alessandro Giretti has responded. Dylan Pereira, maybe a little bit of traffic actually, just a wee bit slower last time around, and the gap is back out to 6.1 seconds. Giretti pacing himself towards the end of this race. Oh, Eric Kwong, and right in behind him is Han Songding in the 669. Eric cannot afford to lose any further places. Christian Chia's in there as well. Actually, that's Yang Chuang in the 888 car. The Bergwerk Motorsport team know how important it is for Eric to get to the end of this race and wrap up this championship. Munkong Sathin Thirakul now up to 5th position, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th position, yeah, in the AM category in this race. And he is right behind Lu Gervais, so there's a potential 4th here for Munkong. I don't think it's going to be enough as it stands, but if Eric was to find himself off the track and down at the back of the field, it would make for some nail-biting calculations in the Bergwerk Motorsport pit. Eric, who has controlled the championship from such an early part of the season in the AM category. Munkong will be ruining some less than decent results. Had a very average weekend here at the start of the season. Since then, he's been pretty good. First race at Marina Bay didn't really go his way, but since then he's been right at the sharp end and on the podium all the way through, bar those first 2 races and the first race of the F1 weekend. That's what pulled him into striking distance of Eric Kwong, who has had 2 non-podium finishes this year before this weekend. Through turns 1 and 2, 2 red and white cars battling, and it is Hendrik Jaya Sawati, and Li Chao goes through. 3 red and white cars there as well, because the number 99 of Mathis Jaubert is trying to get into 15th position, does so. Doesn't increase his points haul in the pro category, he is still in 8th, but he is making up ground. 5 minutes to go as we're on lap number 18 at the moment, but it is time plus a lap, 43 minutes plus a lap, about as far as these Porsche Carrera Cup cars can go with the size of fuel tank that they do. 40 or 45 minutes in Carrera Cup North America ended its season at the F1 race at the Circuit of the Americas last weekend. Congratulations to Luke Hartog, who took the overall championship. Looks like he'll be representing the US at the shootout, the North American Championship, at the Young Drivers Shootout in Europe before the end of the year. Real prospect, Luke Hartog, driving for Kelly Moss Racing. I suspect we'll see him in some other races as well. And we're mentioning this is such a breeding ground for young, talented driver. Down at turn 14, another opportunity to pass for the Francis Chia, number 21 car, having a go on Mathis Jaubert there. That was very brave. In fact, actually having a go on Hendrik, wasn't he? As Mathis is the other red and white car that's disappeared further up. And the leader is lapping cars now in this longer race. Christian Chia just gone a lap down. And that's Yang Chuang ahead in the 88, ahead of the leader. Probably 2, possibly 3 laps to go. Blue flags being waved across the start-finish line for Yang Chuang. Danger time for everyone coming through. The lead is still 6.2 seconds at the line as Dylan Pereira, on home ground for the team Shanghai Hyundai, comes through in second place. Brock Gilchrist now goes across the line. He's another 12 seconds further back, and it's Nazim Azman in the same at Derby, number 17 car. Martin Ragginger in 5th, another 1.5 seconds further back, and a bit of a gap to Dylan Yip, who'll be coming through shortly. There he goes. He's another 12 seconds further back. Bao Jinlong in 7th, comes across the line when? Now, there he goes. And the top 10, Li Zhuangyu and Rodrigo Diaz Almeida and Yang Rao in 10th position. Henry Kwong still leading the AM class in 11th position. Brock Gilchrist on his way to another podium in his first outing in Carrera Cup Asia in the Earl Bamber Motors Porsche Team New Zealand car. We've seen a number of drivers in that, and we've seen that car do good work actually. It's well been on the podium already this year. Triple 7, Li Gervais leading a trio of cars to the line now. Behind him, Munkong Sathin Thirakul. He'll want that position. Munkong trying to take 2 at once here. He comes down the inside and gets through on Henrik Jaya Sawati. Was that a battle for position? Yeah, I think it was. Yeah. There's a potential of a podium here for Meng Kong. The podium position now right ahead of him in class, so that's good points. That'll be third position points for him. Eric Kwong down in 7th at the moment and fully 4 seconds away from another position, just being lapped actually by the leader. The championship leaders in Pro and Am on the track at the same part. The longer races, of course, just giving us a little bit of a different look to the race, and passing lap cars comes into it here. What another fabulous drive. Dylan Pereira has closed in to just on 4 seconds now as they've come through the traffic, but time is not on his side. In fact, time has just run out. I have to say, I didn't see the last lap board, so we might see that this time around for the leader. Down the back straight for what will be either the last or the penultimate time of the 2024 Porsche Carrera Cup Championship season. We started here earlier in the year, and Alessandro Giretti took a win in the second race here, and the fastest lap now to the line. Is it the last lap board? It is. So just on 5.5 kilometres, 3.3 miles for our champion, and it looks like he's going to sweep both the overall and the Carrera Cup Asia Endurance Challenge, with Mathis Joubert well down the field, his closest competitor there. Dylan Pereira had to beat him and he hasn't been able to. Pereira actually had a strange lap there, 2:14, so he may have been caught up with somebody. Little flash of the hazard warning lights by the leader as he's carving his way through the midfield now. Meng Kong Sathian Thirikul has not been able to get past the 777 of Liu Gervais as they're about to start their final lap for the AM drivers as well. Eric Kwong is being lapped, of course, so he will finish when the leader finishes, so he's not going to be able to get any further places, but I think he's done enough to hold on to that AM championship. Side-by-side action all the way to the end of the race. Li Chao, Francis Chia battling it out as Mathis Joubert makes up another position as well, as he went across the line that time in 15th position. But this weekend has all been about the celebrations, and for the final checkered flag of the season, it seems appropriate that our endurance and overall champion will take it. Alessandro Giretti, Team Jebsen, back on top of the Porsche Carrera Cup World, and the Frenchman sweeps both of the championships. Dylan Pereira goes through in second. He will be second in both of the championship for Shanghai, Team Shanghai Honda BWT. Our debutant Brock Gilchrist in the Porsche New Zealand EBM car adds another podium to his weekend, with Martin Ragginger coming through in fourth, Nazim Asman in fifth, Dylan Yip in sixth, and winning for the second time this weekend in Pro-Am, and really underlining his championship in the Pro-Am category, Ba Jinlong for the Phantom Global Racing team. Now we're going to have to wait a little while for the winner of this race in the AM category, and that is Henry Kwong in the number 91 car. The Triple Ace Racing yellow car just coming through to the final corner now. So after the disappointment of the first race this morning, he comes back and will finish the season on a high. It will be Hugh Ball, I think, in second place in the number 22. It's the car coming through to the line. And so third in the category will... Oh, that was very tight on the line there, much tighter than I thought it was going to be. That's Li Gervais, and just off the podium then, Munkong Sathien Thirakul, who will come up, I think, just short as he tries to chase down Eric Kwong, who's already finished because he was a lap down. But I think Eric Kwong has done enough. There would have been some worrying moments for the number 23 Bergwerk team. He's just ahead of the leader on the back straight there. But that's a couple of champions there. Now if we can just get Bao Jinlong in the same shot, we'll have all of our three champions as well. What a season, and what a way to finish the season with the longer race. Does have a little different ebb and flow to it, doesn't it? It has been a great success, the two Endurance Challenge Championship weekends at Sepang and in August, and here at the end of October in Shanghai. So Alessandro Chiretti, as well as his prize guest drive in Carrera Cup Australia on the Formula One Australian Grand Prix weekend at Albert Park, will also be going to Bathurst Mount Panorama for the Maguires 12 hours in February. Team Jebsen go wild. In Pro-Am for the Carrera Cup Asia Endurance Challenge, Bao Jinlong wins that one as well. And in Am, it's Munkong Sathien Thirakul who wins, courtesy of a 6-point lead coming into this race today and finishing ahead of both Eric and Henry Kwong, who won the race, was too far back to be able to influence that. So the Thai driver, and I'm sure his family, will be down at Mount Panorama. Unofficial results then: Chiretti, Gilchrist and Ragginger on. Right, why have we lost? Why did we lose the number 55 at the... we've lost a car there. Dylan Pereira scored down in 7th. So did he get a penalty, I wonder, for being off track? We definitely saw him coming around. However, Bao Jinlong takes the Pro-Am win, and Henry Kwong in 11th takes the Am victory. Unfortunate problems further down the field for Jackie Wu. Early on, John Shen was driven into, wasn't he? So it's more celebrations for Team Jebsen. Alex Imperatori, series manager, one of the first to congratulate our 2024 champion. So just trying to find out if it was a penalty for Dylan Pereira. To be honest, he'll still finish second in the championship, even if he's down in 7th place in both of the championships, because Mathis Hubert finished behind him. It's been the Alessandro Giretti Sunday, hasn't it, really? Dylan Pereira took the spoils on Saturday, and to have any chance of the championship, he came in this weekend in the overall in 3rd place and in the endurance championship in 3rd place. To have any real opportunity to close the gap, he had to get max points in all 3 of the races. Let's go down to Steve, who's got our champion and our final winner of the season.
Well, in the end, we could say it was a procession for Alessandro Giretti and Team Jebsen. What a season it's been. I mean, just give us your feelings now. The season's over and you've dominated.
Yeah, it was a tough and long season. The level was really high, so congrats to Dylan and Mathis, who fight with me the whole year. But yeah, my main thing now is to going to my team, Team Jebsen. All the customers who are watching me, so hello to you. And yeah, Jebsen family, which is here, and also my engineer, Benjamin Flock, which follow me everywhere. And yeah, he deserves it. He deserves this title as Jebsen. It's the 20th anniversary of the team, so such a big moment. And today, I will say we did the perfect Sunday. 2 victories, 2 fastest laps. I mean, what the way to ending a championship and to ending a season. I was champion the race before, but you know, I always try my best and I wanted to deliver the best. For sure, I was lucky. I could see that in turn 2, Mathis and Dylan crashed together, so that opened the door for me. But I mean, still we had a really strong pace today, and yeah, I was managing the tire. Then I could push, and the car was just awesome to drive.
You had a nice, comfortable lead. Was there a smile on your face at any point in the middle of the race there? Did you start to enjoy it?
Yeah, it was a really, really enjoyable race. One of maybe my favorite. It was a long race, endurance. I'm not used to, so it's good for my future to start to learn how to drive in the long stint. But I mean, yeah, I was consistent in the lap time, focused on to be a regular and to be fast, and I could really work on myself. I have a lot of things to change and develop. So yeah, I could find some nice tips, and why not? If I come back here, I will be even stronger because of this race.
It's been a great Sunday. It's been a great season. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
4th overall title for Team Jebsen. 20 years of excellence. You remember Darrell O'Young was their first driver. Twice a Porsche Carrera Cup Asia Series champion. 2006, 2008, 2021 and 2024 now as well, with fantastic win from Giretti. Won the title with Daniel Liu back in 2021 as well. And now Alessandro Giretti is added to their winners' wall.
You could make a realistic case for calling Bao Jinlong the driver of the season in any category. A winner again, Jinlong, but this is a long race. Are you tired?
Yeah, so tired. I think I should ask my daughter to drive the car.
Do you think she'd do a better job?
Yes, sure. Maybe the future Formula 1 driver.
How do you like the longer races? Do you prefer shorter, or do you get a chance to really get into the race when it's a little bit longer like this one?
Yes. For the start, the best start in this season. I almost go to the top 3 in the front. But in the first corner, I'm inside. Inside is slippery with wet. And so I brake early. So I lose some position. And in the corner 3, and one car stopped in front of me. I hit him, and the behind car hit me. But lucky, I pass. And then in the long race, I'm lucky our car is so good, and my pace very consistent. Almost do the same lap time, and last 2 laps I do my best lap. good.
It's been a dominant season. Congratulations. It's been a pleasure watching you.
Thank you.
And that is another champion as well, of course, as Steve mentioned. Two really dominant performances. I think between our Pro and Pro-Am championship winners, both also winning their respective Carrera Cup Asia Endurance Challenge events as well, championship as well. I think they've only been off the podium 4 times this year, adding them together. And that's quite extraordinary, isn't it? One more interview from Steve down in the pit lane.
Henry Kwong, winner in the amateur category. It's a long old race, isn't it, this last race of the season? How are you feeling?
Well, I feel amazing. It's my first race of the season. In the last race, it's really mean encouragement for me to keep improving myself to being at this point. Yes.
Do you feel that this longer race gives you a chance to sort of develop more and learn more about the car and about driving generally?
Yeah, of course, the more time you're on the car, you learn more the track difference, and the car gives you the feedback. So, of course, more track time, you get more experience.
Okay, so a win for you today. Your brothers won the championship. How is the Kwong family going to celebrate this evening?
Well, of course, it's a good celebration for like family together, and my parents is here. So it's a happy ending for 2024. And hopefully we can keep moving forward in the 2025.
You'll be back for 2025?
Well, of course.
Fantastic. Congratulations and well done.
Thank you.
Henry, third in both Carrera Cup Asia and the Endurance Challenge. Wasn't quite so happy for him and his brother earlier on when they came together at the end of this morning's race. Sort of opened the door for Munkong Sathin Thirakul, who will, I can confirm now, will win the AM part of the Endurance Challenge Championship with his finish today. Came in with a slight lead over Eric Kwong, but as Steve mentioned there, it is Eric in that Bergwerk number 23 entered car. That brightly cartoonish car, brilliant livery. That might well be my livery of the year. Eric takes the AM Championship. So the 2024 Porsche Carrera Cup Asia Championship ends with the longer race and the second of our 43-minute plus 1 lap challenges this year. And 2 of the main championship contenders this year coming together earlier on. They were battling for second place in the championship. Matthew Chaubert and Dylan Pereira coming together and coming to blows early on. And Munkong Sathin Thirakul spinning out, and really even a spirited drive from Munkong meant that that was his chance of the championship over. Jackie Wu was caught up as well in that early incident. John Chen having an incident early on, and then a little bit of a problem for our championship leader in AM as the number 23 car dropped back down through the order. Bao Long doing Bao Long things and well inside the top 10, just underlining his dominance of the championship in Pro-Am in the blue number 7. Martin Raginger and Nazim Asman had a race-long battle that went to the number 86 of Raginger. And it all got a little bit worrisome for the driver of the number 23. Eric Kwong getting spun around at the final hairpin by Eric Chang, and at that point it was all a little bit tight. Munkong Sathin Thirakul racing back through the field to 4th position in the AM race, and these were dangerous times for the brightly coloured number 23 driver. Dylan Pereira chasing through to second in both championships, but there was only one Sunday man this weekend, and that was Alessandro Chiaretti. Team Jebsen champions for the 4th time, and Alessandro Chiaretti pro and overall champion. So, 4th overall championship for Team Jebsen, 2006 and 8. With Daryl O'Young, Daniel Liu in 2021, and Alessandro Giretti adds his name to their wall of champions. What a great 2 decades the team have had. Stalwarts of this championship since pretty much the very first event. Podium is ready for the final time this season. Take this opportunity to say thank you very much indeed to my colleagues Sammy Hum, Steve Dawson down in the pits, Chinese commentator Nick Shang, and in the truck this year for China TV service, the whole team, but particularly Mike, our director, and Wata on audio, Lionel, who's been our coordinator, has done a great job. And of course to Alexandra Gibault and the Porsche Motorsport Asia Pacific team for putting on a brilliant, brilliant championship. I've enjoyed every moment of it. I hope you have too. We will be back in 2025, and as we set the podium for the final time, let's tell you about 2025, because it's rather exciting, to be honest. We'll start with a couple of events here at Shanghai International Circuit for the first 4 rounds at the start and the end of March, and then we're off to Motegi in the middle of April. It's Sepang again in June. The Bangshan Street Circuit is rounds 10, 11 and 12. Then we're off to a new circuit at Mandalika in August, and we'll finish off on the Formula 1 calendar at Marina Bay Street Circuit. It's where the champions will be crowned in early October, so finishing just a little bit earlier than we have done this year, around about a month earlier, but 7 events at 6 different venues, looking absolutely brilliant, and we'll have the coverage for you again in 2025, so I hope you'll want to join us for that. Can't wait to see the new venues. The Bendham is ready, the champagne is ready, our trophy presentation VIPs are ready, and for the final time for 2024 we'll get Sammy to do the formalities.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podium presentation for round 16 of Porsche Carrera Cup Asia 2024 in Shanghai. Let's invite the winners for the overall class. 让我们现在颁发专业组的奖项. On third place, we have driver number 86, Martin Regiger from Porsche Holding. Woo! On second place, we have driver number 84, Brock Gilchrist from Team Porsche New Zealand. Woo! And of course, winner goes to driver number 55, Alessandro Giretti from Team Jebsen. And the dealer trophy winner goes to Team Jebsen. And now I would like to invite Ms. Boya Chi, the Senior Manager of One Mixed Series Porsche Motorsports Asia Pacific, to now present the winner trophy and the dealer trophy. 我们有请保时捷亚太赛事运动单一品牌赛事高级经理齐博雅女士颁发冠军奖杯以及冠军经销商奖杯。And next I would like to invite Mr. Alex Imperatori, the manager of Porsche Carrera Cup Asia, to present the second place trophy. 我们有请保时捷凯雷拉杯赛事经理亚历山大先生颁发亚军奖杯。And next on, I would like to invite Mr. Tony Liu, the manager of Motorsports Activation from Porsche Motorsports Asia Pacific, to present the third place trophy. And now can I have all of the award presenters to come closer and join our winners for a group photo. Let's get everybody come closer. All right, everybody, thumbs up, big smiles on the camera. Ready, 1, 2, 3. And another big round of applause to our winners for the overall class. Thank you to our award presenters, and it's time for champagne.
Brilliant way for Alessandro Giretti and the whole of Team Jebsen to celebrate what has been an almost flawless 2024 season in Porsche Carrera Cup Asia. They're on the top step of the podium again. They've won the Team and Dealer Championship, and Alessandro Giretti takes the Pro and overall title and the Endurance Challenge Championship as well.
Cheer to our winners for the All Class.
And rightly so, they are taking their opportunity. Brock Gilchrist twice on the podium this weekend in his debut in this series for Team Porsche New Zealand.
再次掌声送给我们专业组的赢家们。
And Alessandro Giretti literally drinking it in. This championship has been impressive for him. He's put together a superb season 2024 with wins. Didn't score at Bang Sien, of course. Neither him or Jobert. But wins at Shanghai, double win at Suzuka and Buriram, and then of course here this weekend.
And ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to invite the winners of round 16 of Porsche Carrera Cup Asia 2024 in Shanghai for the Pro M Class. 接下来让我们颁发精英组的奖项。On third place, we have driver number 98, Yang Ruoyu from RMB Racing. And on second place, we have driver number 321, Li Shenyu from Z-Speed Motorsport. And of course, our winner goes to driver number 7, Bao Qinlou from Phantom Global Racing. That was a really fun one. Now we are glad to invite Ms. Boyachi, the Senior Manager of One Mix Series Porsche Motorsports Asia Pacific, to present the winner trophy. 有请保时捷亚太赛车运动单一品牌赛事高级经理齐博雅女士颁发冠军奖杯。And now I would like to invite Mr. Alex Imperatori, the manager of Porsche Carrera Cup Asia, to present the second place trophy. 有请保时捷凯雷拉杯赛事经理亚历山大先生颁发亚军奖杯。And next, I would like to invite Mr. Tony Liu, the manager of Motorsports Activation from Porsche Motorsports Asia Pacific, to present the third place trophy. And now let's have all of the award presenters to join the winners on stage for a group photo. Okay, let's be careful because we have a little one on the stage, but let's raise the trophy up high and pose for a big smile on the cameras. Ready? 1, 2, 3. All right, there we go. We're gonna get ready for celebration. Let's get the little one out there. Celebration time!
Well, if Alessandro Giretti was impressive in the Pro Championship, Bao Jinlong has done equally as well in the Pro-Am. 12 out of 16 races this season he's won in class, and for most of those he's been inside the overall top 10. Finished 7th again today and wins the overall plus the Endurance Championship. So he, along with the other Endurance Championship winners, will be off to Maguire's Bathurst 12 Hours in early February next year, first weekend of February, so a month away from the start of our season here. Still to honour our AM class podium, Henry Kwong on top of that one for the final race of the year. That would be his first win of the season for Henry. His brother taking the championship. But neither Munkong or Eric
now,
on
ladies
the
and
podium.
gentlemen, let's get ready to invite the winners of round 16 of Porsche Carrera Cup Asia 2024 in Shanghai for the M Class. 现在我们颁发绅士组的奖项。On third place, we have driver number 76, Munkong Santiago from EBM Giga Racing. And on second place goes to driver number 22 from Hubo from Z-Speed Motorsport. And of course, winner for this round goes to driver number 91, Henry Kwong from Triple Ace Racing. And our Endurance Challenge Best Newcomer Trophy winner goes to driver number 669, Han Songting from Porsche Own Retail 619 team. And now I would like to once again invite Ms. Boyachi, the Senior Manager of One Mixed Series Porsche Motorsports Asia Pacific, to now present the winner trophy. And next I would like to invite Mr. Alex Imperatori, the Manager of Porsche Carrera Cup Asia, to present the second place trophy. And lastly, I would like to invite Mr. Tony Liu, the Manager of Motorsports Activation for Porsche Motorsports Asia Pacific, to now present the third place trophy. And he will be also presenting the Endurance Challenge Best Newcomer Trophy. And now let's invite everybody to come closer for a group photo. So let's have everybody step up on the podium. Let's get ready for the big smiles. Let's hold up the trophy up high. Okay, eyes on the camera, ready? 1, 2, 3. Let's give our winners a big, big round of applause. Woo! Thank you again to our presenters, and let's get ready for the final champagne celebration.
Well, Munkong Sathin Therakul was in fact on the podium right at the end there. What a season, what a final 3 rounds here at Shanghai. We are getting ready and making the preparations all ready for 2025. On behalf of the whole team, I'm John Hindorf. Thanks for being with us for this brilliant 2024 season. It kicks off again back here at Shanghai, the first weekend of March 2025. Have a good holiday period till then and enjoy your motor racing. Bye-bye.